All right, in today's video, we're gonna be installing an 8-inch light smoked wind splitter windshield on this 24 Harley Street Glide. They also make a 10-inch version, and then stock is 5-inch. You can get all three. Now, the reason I am putting a wind splitter on is the bike's brand new and there's just no aftermarket options. We do sell Klockwerks right in the law-abiding biker store along with F4 Customs, and as soon as those are available, we will get them out on the store website, and I'll be testing and reviewing some of those for you on the channel. If you do get one of these wind splitters, either 8 or 10-inch, make sure you get these with it because they don't come with it, and these are windshield blocks that are actually gonna pull it back just a little bit so it fits properly. All right, first things first, Torx T25 and 1, 2, 3, 4 to get this stock windshield removed. And taking the last one out here, you don't have to worry about the windshield falling because it's actually under some clips up front here. And just note that there are washers on each one of these. And our new windshield actually comes with new bolts, but I'll save these with the old windshield. From there, it just slides right off. Okay, from here we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 stock bolts here in these stock windshield blocks, and these are Torx T27. I'm going to back these out, and we are going to be saving these because we're going to reuse them with the new taller windshield blocks. And I'm going to remove these two guys, and I did do a very detailed video. Well, we did it on F4 Customs, Klockwerks on the channel. I'll link to it in the description below. But we show you how to measure yourself so that you can make sure and order the right height windshield for you, and obviously based on, you know, where you sit in the saddle, how tall your saddle is. But again, I'll link to it in the description below. And by getting the right size windshield, that'll make sure the wind is popped up and over your head. All right, and from here, you can just take this, and you see this whole thing pops off. It's got your windshield hooks in there. On the back side of this, you've got one there and one there that will allow these blocks to be removed. And back to a Torx T25 on these guys here. And save these because we will be reusing them for the new blocks. And with that, this block will come off now. Go ahead and get this side off here. All right, so this is your windshield panel as it sits on the bike. The two clips at the bottom for the bottom of the windshield. We've got our new blocks. They do need to go on a certain way. The main thing you want to note is on the rear, there's a little nub there, and that goes right in here to kind of line it up. And then obviously we're going to put our two bolts in here in a minute. Taller one goes on top. You can see how it's taller there. So just make sure that goes there like so. And our second one will do the same. Again, taller on top, and it'll sit like that. And of course, just like we took the other blocks off, we're going to reuse those little screws there. Grab our Torx T25 here. And I wouldn't over tighten these, just a little bit snug. It'll be fine. You're going right into plastic, about that much. And again, tall side to the top, going on there, and in the back side with this screw. All right, we've got our taller windshield blocks attached to the windshield panel. Now there are some tabs along here. And as we put this in, you just want to make sure those kind of line up underneath there. And then you can just kind of lay this guy back in place. And then of course, the 4 bolts with washers that we took out of the original windshield blocks are going to go back in the 4 holes, 2 on each side. And on these guys, again, just barely snug is fine. And when you're putting these back in, just look down in here how it's threaded. It's actually not at an angle. It actually goes pretty much straight down and in, so to speak. So you don't want to get these guys cross-threaded. So take a peek at that. They go in real easy. All right, and of course from there, we can go ahead and put our new 8-inch light smoked wind splitter here. And now the holes line up, and that gives clearance, these taller blocks. Otherwise, these would be hitting and rubbing on the fairing. So it gives it the right clearance now. And of course, I've got my 4 new bolts and little rubber grommets that go on them, and make sure you put those on the right way. And then we'll get all of these started here. All right, and I'm just going around. Again, guys, don't strip these out. Just barely snug is fine. Your windshield is not going anywhere. And although this is definitely a quality windshield, a lot of aftermarket ones are going to be coming out, like I say, Klockwerks, F4 Customs. And as those come out, we're going to be putting them in the law-abiding biker store, so make sure you keep checking back on that. But definitely solid windshield by Harley-Davidson here, and it is stamped right across the front. All right, and getting the proper height windshield for you as a rider is super critical if you're going to tour long distance at all, like we do, you know, 10 days, pounding 5,000 miles day in, day out. Rider fatigue is a real thing. Being able to get that wind up and over you not to mention, you know, if you encounter weather, which you will if you go a long distance. These are great for just ripping around town and stuff, but that's really going to save you. So if you're going to tour like us, I'd strongly suggest, regardless of what windshield you pick, get something that's going to move that air up and around you and make sure it's fitted right for you. Again, we did do a video on how to measure for that, so you know, and I will link to it in the description below. And of course, the project would not be complete if I didn't grab some of our beloved BUGLSIDE, our #1 go-to waterless motorcycle cleaner. Used it for many years, just awesome stuff. Use it on all our personal bikes, plus our whole police fleet of bikes, keeping them looking sharp.